What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, I'm going to give you guys the update on the KVK of 30 NA, aka the Roots of War League Champions. If you are interested in knowing what is going on, are we cooking or are we getting cooked? You're going to find out in a little bit. We're also going to talk about the Bastion situation in Call of Dragons. I feel like the game developers really need to do something to improve Bastions. In this video, I'm going to give a good suggestion that might be very good for the Bastions. Hopefully in the future, the game developers can come up with something great to make the open field fighting great again. Because the Bastions has pretty much ruined the open field PvP. If you're new here, subscribe for more content. Like the video, share it with your friends, drop some comments down below. Let's get right into it. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, bastions, the most hated defensive structures in Call of Dragons. Today we're going to talk about this situation and hopefully the devs can do something in the future. NA has used bastions before to defend enemies and enemies don't like it. This time around, the tables have turned. NA is suffering to a bunch of different bastions over here. We're going to talk about the situation. So what is happening over here? We got FA, the strongest enemy, locking the dragon with 4 different bastions from 4 different shells. Even their allies cannot get to the dragon to do elite raid because they have a feeling that if they remove one of these 4 bastions that belong to them, NA might be able to find a way to get to the bastions. So as of right now, they have locked off like 4 bastions over here to prevent NA from sniffing the dragon. So how did we end up in this situation? When the passes opened, NA was able to border the dragon and make it all the way up to here, where I'm pointing with my cursor. So the thing is, the enemy has much stronger B teams. So their B teams was able to prevent our B teams from making any progress towards the dragon. When they did all of that, it kind of turned into a 3v1. And NA was pushed out of the dragon zone because they were shooting our towers from all angles with different bastions. So it was nearly impossible for NA to try to stay here. Even though we had 2 bastions to use, the enemies just had a lot of bastions to just shoot our towers from all corners. So as of right now, we are stuck here. Most of the time fighting in a 3v1 situation. I gotta give credit to our allies as well. They have been helping us out through portals. So sometimes it's kind of like a 3v1, 3v2. Our allies are helping with portals. As you can see here, we still have some allies in orange trying to help out, which is some good stuff. But yeah, FA alone has managed to lock this region with 4 different bastions, preventing NA and all of their allies from getting to the dragon. So the thing is, these bastions are very difficult to take down. I feel like the devs have dropped the ball this season. They have allowed overpowered bastions that I have never seen before. So what is the situation? Let's pick one of the bastions over here and see what is going on. The devs have allowed for cities to be teleported right next to the bastions. Just take a look at this. I thought they had brought an update that prevented cities from teleporting right next to the update. I mean right next to the bastion. But that is not the case. You can teleport cities right next to the bastion. And to make it even worse, we have make way policy. Make way policy will allow you to go into the bastions without being blocked. So it has been impossible to break down a single bastion. We haven't been able to burn any of these bastions. Even after rallying for the last 2-3 days, non-stop, there is no progress whatsoever. Even if you look at the KVK of Echo, they are going through the same thing. The enemy kind of has stronger B teams, so Echo has been pushed out of the dragon zone. So here we are going through the same thing as well. One more thing that I also noticed is that they did not put the battle acceleration on these bastions, making it nearly impossible to take them down. So I don't really know what the devs were doing this season. Because this is just, I don't know. This is just something else, man. Just look at the proximity of the cities to the bastions. There is no way to break these bastions. All the enemy has to do right now is just shove troops into the bastions and that is it. For us, we were able to make it here with 2 different shells. Unfortunately, our other shells were a little bit behind because like we don't really have a lot of players in NA this season. So let us go here and see the rankings just to show you guys what is going on. So when I click on the ranking, I go to the Alliance Power. Where is Alliance Power? You can see that NA has 21 billion power and the enemy has 18 billion power. On paper, NA and FA both have like 21 billion power. Right now in NA, we recruited about, I think, 5 players who are almost 1 billion power. So they are adding to this power, but they cannot participate in the KVK. Now, FA has more players. I think they have around 200 players in their alliance with 21 billion power. And for NA, we have like, I think, 165 players. So it makes it very difficult for activity. That is like 40 players down in terms of activity. So when I scroll down all the way to the bottom, you're going to see like we have lots of farm accounts here, like about 25 farm accounts out of this 188 players. And some of the players here, we just recruited them recently. They cannot participate in the KVK. So I'm going to keep scrolling down. So yeah, you can see from here, these are all farm accounts going all the way to the bottom. So we have 165 players. I'm not trying to make any excuse or anything. I got to give credit to FA and their allies. They did a good job. They just stopped us from getting to the dragon. It's what it is. They were the better side in this KVK. So I give them credit for that. But my concern here is for the bastions. The devs should really do something. It would have been better if the cities could not teleport like right next to the bastion. It would have been better if we had the battle acceleration as well. Unless I am mistaken in terms of battle acceleration. Please correct me down below if we have battle acceleration. I just didn't see it this season when I was looking at the bastions. So this is what is going on. I've been ranting, I think, for about 9 minutes now or so, give or take. So up next, we're going to talk about how the devs can really fix this bastion situation. Alright, Warriors of Tamaris, let us talk about how the game developers can improve bastions in Call of Dragons. It's becoming just ridiculous. So first of all, why did they introduce bastions in the game? The developers thought that most KVKs were ending a little bit faster. So they decided to bring bastions to allow for other alliances to try and defend themselves and stay in the zone for a little bit longer. But it has turned out into a negative addition into the game because people just shove troops into the bastions without fighting any PvP. It is not very interesting. So I feel like the devs should do something to improve this situation. I have a simple solution that could be good. Who knows if they impose something like this in the future. Now, I would suggest they put a timer on every single bastion. Make it so that once a bastion is fully built, it will have a lifespan of maybe 36 hours or 48 hours, which is 2 days. 2 days is enough time for people to heal their troops or, you know, to recover from their downtime because the bastions was built to help other people in the downtime. So make it so that it's active for 2 days. After 2 days, time counter is gone down. The bastion is just gonna explode and disappear. And then it will have another cooldown of between 6 to 12 hours before you can build it again. This is going to give people a 6-hour time frame to fight both the enemy and the defenders. If you are the defender, you know that your bastion is going to go down in maybe 2 hours. So you got to bring back everyone to try and fight, try and hold the ground and try and build another bastion for another 2 days. I think this is going to solve the bastion situation. It'll make it so that if a bastion cannot be destroyed through rallies, then it's going to be destroyed after 2 days. Once it's gone, both sides have to build the bastion again, allowing for a better fight. I think this is going to solve the bastion situation. Just allow the city to be teleported right next to the bastion, allow the make way policy, bring back the battle acceleration. However, put a timer on the bastion. 2 days, 3 days, it's better than nothing. Because right now, it is impossible to take down these bastions. Now imagine if this bastion had a timer on it, right? So after 2 days, this bastion is going to explode. Now both sides are going to have to fight for this small ground right here. Will it be the enemy putting a bastion here, or will it be the defenders holding their ground and reapplying this bastion again? I think this is going to solve the bastion situation. Hopefully something is done about this, because it is ruining the PvP for a lot of people. Because right now the enemy doesn't really need to push us whatsoever, because we don't really have any way of like getting to the dragon. We are just now fighting here, exchanging merits, and that's pretty much it. So if the devs can put a timer on these bastions, I think it can go a long way. It's gonna solve a lot of this problem. Just test it through different KVKs and see the right amount of time required. You could put maybe 2 days and a half, 1 day and a half, and then maybe 3-hour cooldown on the bastion, or 6-hour cooldown, or 12-hour cooldown, so long as you have a countdown timer on the bastion to explode at a given time. I think this is going to be very, very good for the game. What do you guys think? Comment down below in the comment section. Now getting back to this KVK, I give credit where it's due. The enemy did their due diligence. They got to the dragon, they locked it off. We just can't get there. Our allies tried their best. Unfortunately, the enemies are a little bit stronger. The enemy B teams. It is also happening in other KVK. So it is what it is. Our allies are also helping us over here with portals, which is a good thing. So overall, I think this has been a decent KVK for us. It has been pretty good. So I think that's it, guys. Who knows? Maybe we will try and find a way to get to the dragon. But I don't know, man. It's like impossible to break a single bastion with all the juices the game developers have given them, like the make way policy and the ability to teleport right next to the bastion. It is impossible to take it down. So that's the situation of the KVK, guys. How is your KVK going? Feel free to comment down below. Do you like bastions? Comment down below. Do you hate bastion? Comment down below. How would you solve the bastion situation? Feel free to drop them down below in the comment section. Until then, we shall meet again in the next video. Bye bye for now.